In the previous lecture, we find the force on a current carrying conductor when it is placed in uniform magnetic field. After that, we find the force between the two current carrying conductors. Means we are moving from one conductor to two conductors, whether they are parallel or they are anti-parallel. Now, in today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the force on current carrying conductors. But this time, the number of conductors is not one, not two, this is four. And with the help of these four conductors, or we can say four current carrying conductors, we make a rectangular loop. So we have a loop which is placed in magnetic field, or we can say uniform magnetic field. Then how the force will act on that and what will be the effect of force. Let's try to understand this concept. Torque on a current carrying rectangular coil placed in uniform magnetic field. For that, let us consider we have a rectangular coil. This is a rectangular coil ABCT. Let I is the current flowing through this rectangular coil. This is the direction of current. Since it is a loop, so current will flow like this in this side BC, and this is the current inside CD. Let these green arrows represents a magnetic field, that is B. Let this angle is alpha, and a normal of the coil makes an angle, say this is the normal. This makes an angle theta with the direction of magnetic field. Now we can consider that this loop is consist of four different conductors, that is AB, BC, CD and DA. We find the force on each conductor independently, and after that we add all the forces. Let's see how we can do this. In this figure, AB is equal to CD, which is the length of this conductor, and that AD, or you can say DA, is equal to BC, which is the breadth of this conductor, and say that is B. Now let's try to find out the force on the first arm, that is DA. Say this force is F1, that will be equal to, that is I into dA vector cross, and the second vector is magnetic field, which is B vector. We know that F1 is the cross product of dA and B vector. So this force will be perpendicular to this and directed upward somewhat like this. So this is the direction of the force F1. This direction can be found out with the help of right hand curve rule, right hand thumb rule, whatever you want. So the magnitude of this force F1, that will be equal to, according to this, that is I BB sine 180 minus alpha. यहाँ पे मैंने साइन 180 माइनस अल्फा यूज किया है. Why 180 minus alpha? Because the direction of the current is in this direction. जो इस कंडक्टर में से करंट फ्लो कर रहा है वो इस डायरेक्शन में है, जबकि हमें तो डायरेक्शन ऑफ करंट और मैग्नेटिक फील्ड के बीच का एंगल लेना होता है. दैट्स वाई यहाँ पे एंगल अल्फा नहीं लेंगे, ये एंगल हम नहीं लेंगे. कौन सा एंगल होगा? ये वाला. सो द एंगल विल बी this much, and this is 180. This angle is 180 and alpha is this, so 180 minus alpha will be the angle between these two. तो यहाँ पे लेंथ की जगह पे, क्योंकि AD की जो ब्रेड्थ है वो B है, तो आई एम यूजिंग B, and B is the magnetic field capital B, and sine 180 minus alpha is the angle between these two. So the force on first conductor will become, that is IBB sine alpha, because sine 180 minus theta is equal to sine theta. Now similarly, the force on a second arm, say that is force on AB, and say that force is F2 vector, and again that will be equal to I. The length is AB vector cross B vector. This time magnetic field and current are perpendicular to each other. So the AB length is L and magnetic field is B. Since angle is 90 degree, so sine 90 is 1. So no need to write here. I am just using ILB. Now the force on arm BC, that is say F3, and this F3 that will be equal to again same, that is I B, and this time B sine. Here we are using alpha because this is the angle, and this angle is alpha because this angle and this angle are same, and again this is the angle between this direction of current and magnetic field, so we take alpha. So instead of 180 degree minus alpha, here we are taking sine alpha. If we write the magnitude of this, we can simply write F3 magnitude of this force, that will be equal to I B B sine alpha. And similarly, force on arm CD, that is say F4, that will be equal to again I, length is L, and the angle between current and magnetic field here is again 90 degree. So sine 90 is 1 and I am using ILB. Now, what are the directions of these forces? If we talk about the direction of the force on arm AB, on this arm, here we know that this is the direction of current and this is the direction of magnetic field. If we curl the fingers from this direction to this direction, so the direction of magnetic field will be perpendicular to the plane of paper, and we can say that is directed outward. And for directed outward, we make a dot sign. So this will be the direction of the force on arm AB. Now, what about the direction of force on arm BC? The force is F3. Say this is the force F3. To find this direction, if we curl our fingers from this direction of this current flowing conductor to magnetic field, then the thumb will be in downward direction. So the direction of F3 will be in downward direction. Then what about the force, that is F4 on this arm CD? From here it is clear that this angle is again 90 degree, and if we curl our fingers from current towards the magnetic field, or length from length to magnetic field, then the direction will be directed inward, perpendicular to the plane of the paper and directed inward. And for inward, we represent inward force by a cross sign. So these are the forces, that is F1 upward, F2 outwards the paper, F3 downward, and F4 inward the paper. From this diagram, it is clear that F1 and F3 are equal in magnitude. You can see it here. F1 and F3 are equal in magnitude, but they have opposite direction. F1 is on upward direction and F3 is in downward direction. So these are the two vectors which are in opposite directions. These are equal also. So they will cancel out each other. Then what about the two other forces? That is force F2 and F4. This time also F2 and F4 are equal in magnitude, but they have also opposite direction. But this time the line of action is not same. That's why they will not cancel out each other. What does this line of action means? Let us consider I have this arm, or say we can say this is very similar to our wire which we are considering here. If I apply force on this side in a downward direction and this side in upward direction, the forces are equal. What will happen? You can observe that these are not in the same line. This force is in this line, along this line, and this force is along this line. So the line of actions are different. When line of action of forces are different, then the object will rotate, and this rotation is known as torque. So this coil, rectangular coil, will experience a torque along the axis. Which axis? Which is passing through F1 and F3. तो उसके along वहां पे torque लगेगी and the coil will start rotating. So the rotational effect will be there. Then how much the torque will act on this? Let's try to find out that. Now the torque on rectangular coil. The formula for the torque we know that is either force into perpendicular distance. Since we are discussing about the magnitude of forces here, तो यहाँ पे आप किसी भी फोर्स को ले सकते हैं. So BK is the perpendicular distance between these two arms. As this angle is alpha, so this angle will also be alpha. Now let's try to find out the torque. Is represented by tau. Either force, I am taking any one of the force, that is ILB into sine of the angle. From this triangle, we find that BK divided by BC, that is equal to cos alpha. This implies that this BK that will be equal to BC cos alpha. And we know that BC is the breadth of this loop. So I can write BK is B cos alpha. So using these values here, we get that this BK is B cos alpha. So we can write here I A B cos alpha. Now what is this A? यहाँ पे जो A यूज किया है ये क्या होगा? Here A is length into breadth, that is the area of the square. So we can write the torque acting on this loop is IAB cos alpha. And if there are n number of turns, then we can multiply this by n. So we get n IAB cos alpha. Now let's try to find out this result in terms of theta. So from here it is clear that theta plus alpha, that is of 90 degree. So alpha is 90 minus theta. I can use this result in this equation. So we can write that is this torque, which was equal to NIAB cos alpha. Instead of alpha, we can use a 90 minus theta, that is 90 minus theta. So the result will become, that is tau, that will be equal to NIAB sine theta, because cos 90 minus theta is sine theta. And also Ni into A is equal to M, that is known as magnetic moment. So the result will become this tau, that is equal to MB sine theta. Since magnetic moment is a vector quantity and magnetic field B is also a vector quantity and torque is a vector quantity, so in vector form we can write that is M vector cross B vector. So this will be the torque acting on this rectangular coil. Thus this torque will try to rotate the coil about the axis, which I told you, that is along force F1 F3, and the direction of this torque in our example is in clockwise direction. Now let's discuss some of its special cases. The first one, when alpha is 0. Here you can see here that when alpha is 0 means angle theta will be of 90 degree, because alpha and theta are perpendicular to each other. So when alpha is 0, the theta will be of 90 degree, that is theta is 90 degree. So in that case, this torque that will be equal to maximum torque will act on this, and the maximum torque will be NIAB. And second one, when alpha is equal to 90 degree, or we can say theta is 0, then in that case no torque will act on this dipole and the torque will be 0. Now from these results it is clear that when alpha is 0, then theta is 90 degree. That means the area vector is perpendicular to the magnetic field. So the maximum torque will act on the coil, and that torque is given by, that is NIAB, or we can simply write that is this torque is MB, that is magnetic moment and magnetic field. And when this alpha is 90 degree or theta is 0, that is the current loop is in the direction of magnetic field, then no torque will act on this rectangular coil. So in this way we can find out the torque on a rectangular coil when it is placed in uniform magnetic field. अगर आपको इस टॉपिक से रिलेटेड या और किसी अन्य टॉपिक में कोई भी प्रॉब्लम है, किसी भी प्रकार की प्रॉब्लम है, तो यू कैन राइट इनटू द कमेंट सेक्शन। आप मुझे भौतिक जो अपना ग्रुप है उसके ऊपर भी मैसेज भेज सकते हैं, ग्रुप टेलीग्राम के ऊपर है, या आप यहाँ पे भी कमेंट्स कर सकते हैं। अगर आपको रेगुलर वीडियोस नहीं मिल रहे हैं तो आप ये चेक करें कि आपने चैनल को अभी तक सब्सक्राइब किया है कि नहीं किया है। उसके साथ ही नोटिफिकेशन आइकन जरूर प्रेस कर दें। उससे क्या होगा कि जब भी हमारी लाइव क्लास होती है या जब भी कोई वीडियो अपलोड होगा उसकी तुरंत नोटिफिकेशन या उसकी इंफॉर्मेशन आपको मिल जाएगी। सो दिस वाज ऑल अबाउट दिस लेक्चर। थैंक यू वेरी मच।